Hi guys, welcome back to Marant's Rants. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. I was speaking to some employees from Kohl's yesterday, and they were telling me, hey, we feel like our company's going out of business. And I was like, really? I was like, no, that's Bed Bath & Beyond. Everything's getting liquidated and, the signs are outside. And they were like, no, because we're actually giving away inventory, whether it be, Adidas or Under Armour, everything's 50% off, if not more. We've never had it happen like this before. And Kohl's has been around a long time where I live. And so I was like, oh, wow, I don't know anything about that. So let me go look into it. And they asked me to look into it. And of course, I hit the jackpot. I go in there and I find out, well, one, because I don't pay attention to every retail company. I try, Best Buy, Target, GameStop, Costco. I pay attention to a lot of them. And now I'm looking at Kohl's and I'm just like, wow. So this explains the stock price coming down about, from $60 all the way down to $20. And why T. Rowe Price bought in this morning. And I'm like, what the hell happened? Well, they got a new CEO. They asked for more funding. They got $1.5 billion that they borrowed, but they're out of cash. And I was like, really? This is what's happening. They even gave out a dividend, if I'm not mistaken, just this past quarter. CEO gets the hells out of there. He's out of there. They got a new guy. And they lowered their credit rating. Everything looks bad over there. It does not look good. It's not something I would invest in, but it reminded me about cash burn rates. Like, why we need to pay attention to that. So it reminded me of an interview that I saw, and I'm going to show you everything right now. And we're going to go break through all this. So you guys know who this is. If you don't, I'll tell you. Mark Vadden. Mark Vadden was the CEO and founder of Blue Nile. He's also the CEO and founder of Zulily Clothing, which all that whole crew is now at GameStop, if you guys do not know that. Zulily then turned into, that whole crew left Zulily and went to Chewy, and he was the CEO of Chewy as well. He mentors Ryan Cohen. He's going to talk about Ryan Cohen in this little skip that I play for you. But I want you to pay attention when he says about burn rates, okay? Because there's a reason why I'm going to show you, and then I'll show you all the companies that we're talking about. Ready and go.
But again, I think we are closer to the top of the cycle. I think if you're an entrepreneur, you got to be careful. I talked to entrepreneurs today. I've an amazing entrepreneur I work with who's 28, and he has amazing instincts. He's great. But I keep coaching him, you are closer to the top than the bottom, and you got to be careful. You got to be a little cautious, because when it turns fast. And the money isn't there, and so, fill the coffers, and then, my advice in general to people is, like, when the market's good, raise a bunch of money and then don't spend it too fast, right? Like, because people get on these burn rates. Mark Andreessen wrote about this recently. The burn rates get really, really high. And if you've only been in a market where the capital markets are up and to the right, you keep thinking, well, I'll always be able to go back to the market. And that's not always the case. So you always need a plan B. And that's what makes me nervous right now is, investors would be nervous that the valuations are getting high. On the entrepreneur side of things, I think you got to be very cautious that the burn rates are getting way too high.
So there you go. So the burn rates are getting way too high. So let's go ahead and go to a company, and we can start right here with Kohl's. So Kohl's, those employees were nervous and scared, and they should be. If you look at Kohl's, they burned from $1.8 billion all the way down to $194 million. This is a poor investment. In 1 year, they are sticking to their guns as far as a high burn rate, and they're not cutting. They're not doing enough to take on the water that's coming in. They borrowed more money, and their credit rating got lowered by the S&P, and it's just not a good business model from what I can see that they're not making. So that's Kohl's. Burn rate, losers. Next, this is going to be AMC. AMC burned off $900 million already, not to mention more, but they are raising money by giving away their whole company. I would never advise that as well. This is a distressed credit investors' haven. They love this place. They hang out, and they got more money coming. So terribly run company. The same with Kohl's, as a matter of fact, for right now. The next company we can look at, Best Buy. Best Buy has burned off $2.5 billion in cash. They're now sitting at $932 million from the $3.4 they had previously a year ago. Not looking good for Best Buy. Poorly run at this moment in time. But it's not their fault. Guys, this is the economy. The economy's here. You saw the CPI number gets released today, and it tells you that they had to raise it, 0.5, 0.5%. Well, guess what's wrong with that? That means the Fed has to keep raising rates for the next whole year. We're going to go into a recession, a certified recession. I already feel like we are. But until people start getting fired and laid off their jobs, they're not going to stop raising rates. They want to see that employment number come down. Let's go ahead and look at here. Bed Bath & Beyond. Cash. They went from having $1.4 billion to now $400 million. And then what did it end up at? $225 million. And we know they don't have any money left. We know they're burning right through it. They had to go borrow more money. They're on their last leg. They're losing. This is not a great investment. I wouldn't touch it. Who do we have here? We have Target. Target on cash went from 5.7 in 1 year, 5.7 billion, all the way down to 954 billion. This should be front page news. The fact that Target has lost over $5.5 billion, almost $6 billion. I don't care how you cut it, because I already know what the next number is going to be for next quarter. There's nothing they can do. They don't know how to handle what's coming their way. And that means that it's costing you more to do your business. But remember, Target's losing, Bed Bath & Beyond's losing, Best Buy's losing, AMC's losing. I don't care who it is. Kohl's losing. Who's winning? Who's winning? GameStop had an increase in cash on hand. Remember they had a free cash flow? It was a positive $177 million. GameStop has lost around $250 million this year. $250 million after 3 quarters, and we don't even know what the 4th quarter is going to announce real soon. I'm telling you, I love GameStop. I love the way GameStop's run because they don't have a cash burn rate of $1 billion a year. They're not burning off billions and billions and billions, guys. All of these companies are. I would run away from any of these investments that I would have, and I'd run right into the arms of GameStop. That's just me. You don't have to believe me, guys, but the truth is there. And Mark Vadden kind of tells you how to play that out. You want to raise money when the markets are great? Go do it. Like they were in 2021, like they were during 18, 19. They were great markets. Well, guess what? You don't go raise capital right now because no one's going to give it to you. And if they do give it to you, there's that little sticky note on there. You're going to owe me something. And that's what's happening right now to a lot of companies, I guess. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. Pay attention, millionaires. You have a great investment in GameStop. Everything else right now is falling to pieces. And I kind of enjoy watching it. Peace.